All right, let's dive right into this explainer. We've got to look at exactly why the SOX semiconductor ETF is up nearly 60% since January. I mean, as an investment advisor keeping a close eye on future growth, I can tell you right now, this presents a massive expanding opportunity for the smart money. The AI demand growth isn't just about one company anymore, it's completely transforming the entire industry. So here's our agenda for today. First, we'll move beyond the GPU boom, then look at new CPU and memory bottlenecks, and explore shrinking data center footprints. After that, we'll cover optical interconnects through 2027, discuss breaking those historical boom and bust cycles, and wrap up by looking at rising consumer hardware costs.
All right, part one, beyond the GPU boom.
So if we want to understand exactly where the market is actually heading and where the next big capital allocations are going, we've got to watch how the constraints are migrating. See, markets absolutely love bottlenecks, right? Because a bottleneck means concentrated demand. Now, the old constraint was the GPU, just fighting to get your hands on NVIDIA hardware for that heavy raw compute. But as that gets priced in, the new bottleneck is shifting straight over to CPUs. They're the ones taking over the completely essential front-end task of actually preparing the data before the GPU can even touch it. The constraints are migrating, and believe me, the investment capital is migrating right along with them.
Moving on to part two, new CPU and memory bottlenecks. Listen, in the investing world, a supply chain bottleneck equals pricing power. It's that simple. And that pricing power translates directly into expanding profit margins for the companies that can successfully step up and solve it. Looking at the key beneficiaries here, the whole landscape is really broadening out. For CPU bottlenecks, giants like Intel and AMD are hitting all-time highs as they step in to resolve these shortages. Intel just had a blockbuster report, and NVIDIA themselves are adapting with their new Veris CPU just to compete directly in the space. Meanwhile, over in the memory category, companies like Micron and SanDisk are completely dominating a red-hot space. Make no mistake, memory storage is absolutely at the forefront of the AI trade right now.
Which brings us to part three, shrinking data center footprints. Let's talk about the physical reality of AI for a second and look at exactly why memory storage is presenting such a unique growth opportunity. Think about the staggering scale of this innovation. Micron just started shipping the world's largest commercially available solid-state hard drive, designed specifically for data centers. And because hyperscalers are driving so much AI demand, get this. This new hardware requires 82% fewer racks to achieve the exact same raw storage capacity as older tech, 82%. It's basically like taking a massive 5-story warehouse of servers and shrinking it all down to fit onto a single floor. So the crucial takeaway here is that this exact same data capacity now demands only 18% of the physical space it used to. I mean, that is a massive leap forward in efficiency for data centers, which, let's face it, are incredibly constrained by physical real estate. And this breakthrough is such a game changer that it recently earned Micron a Fitch credit upgrade to BBB+. It's just a textbook example of a company solving a high-value bottleneck and really reaping the rewards.
All right, on to part four, optical interconnects through 2027.
But CPUs and memory, they aren't the only constraints. We actually have a third critical choke point in this AI supercycle, and honestly, it's flying somewhat under the retail radar. But let me tell you, institutional investors are paying very close attention. I'm talking about optical interconnects. You can think of these as the high-speed superhighways of the data center, because once you have the CPU preparing the data, the GPU computing it, and the memory storing it, well, you still have to move all that massive data around. So this is an entirely new ecosystem of optical laser plays carrying that really heavy transmission load. And keeping an eye on this longer-term investment horizon is critical for us. Analysts are predicting that these bottlenecks in data transmission will persist well into 2027. So this extended timeline really highlights how companies operating in the optical transmission space, like Marvell and Corning, are structurally positioned to benefit from these optical laser constraints for years to come.
Part 5, breaking boom and bust cycles.
Now, any seasoned tech investor will be the first to tell you that memory has traditionally been a highly volatile boom and bust business. The old rule was you buy at the bottom of the cycle and sell at the top. So we really have to tackle this historically accepted pattern head-on and ask, is the current AI chip demand just another historical boom and bust cycle? Let's take a look at why the market bulls are convinced that this specific semiconductor supercycle is fundamentally different.
The bulls are arguing that it is completely different this time. And why is that?
Well, because the massive, continuous demands of AI data inference require significantly more resources than just basic data storage or computation. Plus, we haven't even really begun the massive rollout of what they're calling physical AI. We're talking about advanced robots coming onto the scene, not to mention the future integration of complex autonomous driving systems. So the bulls believe we are really just scratching the surface here of sustained structural demand drivers that will permanently alter the historical market cycle.
Finally, Part 6, Rising Consumer Hardware Costs. Okay, let's bring this macro investment supercycle back home to the consumer level, because these back-end bottlenecks, they don't just exist in a vacuum, right? Memory chips used to represent just a small fraction of the cost when building consumer electronics. Historically, it hovered right around 10%. But today, because of the absolutely intense requirements of AI, memory alone consumes roughly 35% of the total unit build costs for new devices. That's a huge jump. And this isn't just some abstract economic theory. The biggest tech heavyweights are feeling the squeeze right now. Mark Zuckerberg actually went out of his way to call out the high cost of memory on a recent Meta earnings call. And leadership at Apple and Microsoft, they've echoed those exact same concerns directly to their shareholders. These soaring back-end expenses are just becoming unavoidable for the world's largest hardware manufacturers.
And you better believe those companies are going to pass those costs right on to us. Analysts are actively warning consumers to prepare for anywhere between a 15 to 30% jump in retail prices for their next smartphone or laptop, which really leaves us with this final provocative takeaway. As an investor, sure, you can profit from the back-end infrastructure boom, but as a consumer with retail costs expected to surge up to 30%, how will this invisible AI infrastructure tax change the way you buy your consumer tech?